Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Grits and Glitter. I'm Rev Skip Jennings.
What up? And I'm Terry Dyer.
Yes, you is. Yes, you is. Where you at in the hotel room?
Shh, why you telling my business?
I know. I just called you in. I'm sorry.
You called me in. I am in
put all your
Columbus,
stuff out there.
Ohio. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Y'all hear that? She put me on blast. No, I am in Columbus, Ohio for an entire week. I'm here for two different events, two speaking events, diversity and inclusivity sports conference where I am the keynote speaker. So it's been a great week. Great week.
That's amazing. And have you been playing? It's been raining where you are, raining where I am. So you didn't play any tennis while you've been there, have you?
No. I did not bring rackets. No, I hate to say it. I flew a specific airline, and although they got real expensive tickets, they are not cute because they charge you for everything, like charging you for water.
What is up with this? What is it? Even
water?
When the ones I know water, right? Even the ones that are inexpensive, they screw with you because you're like,
yes.
Okay, I got this great ticket. I'm not going to mention any names, Spirit Airlines. I buy this. Then you got to pay for to choose the seat, and then you got to pay for if you want to carry on, and then you got to pay for. What is up with that stuff?
Right. I was so beside myself because I always check a bag. It doesn't matter where I'm flying to. I always check a bag.
Okay.
So in addition to paying for that, I then walk over as I'm, heading to my destination. I walk over to hit TSA pre. They stop me. There's a whole separate section. They stop me. Can we see your ticket, please? So I say, sure. What is this? Oh, that'll be another $80 because you're carrying a suit bag.
What?
Say what now? They charged me another $80 because I had a garment bag with a suit in it. Yes.
Isn't that your carry-on or your personal?
I had a backpack, right?
Okay, that's your personal.
Right. Then I had my suit bag. Mm-hmm.
And they got you.
With a suit. It's a suit.
You know what, y'all? I would have done. I would have said, hold on. Here, hold my bag. I would put the suit on. Hold my bag for me, please.
I mean, I get it. It's a bag, but it's not as if it's taking up room like a roll-on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So another $80, it's the same. It's equivalent to a check-in. But nah, boo. She was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Say what now? Say what now? That's what I really wanted to do, but I kept it cute and classy.
Where my Vaseline?
I kept it cute and classy, but I let her know this ain't cute. This is not cute.
Oh my
all.
God.
Mm-mm.
There's a direct airline. There's an airline that goes direct from Fort Lauderdale to Atlantic City, and it's literally 15 minutes to my mom's house from the airport. Now, I could go to Philadelphia, but then I have to rent a car and then drive for an hour. So I put up with that airline. It's gotten better, but I put up convenient. It's very convenient.
It is.
I did notice something. The seats have gotten smaller.
Yes.
And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So what I do now is I do get the exit row. I do pay a little extra for the exit row.
Same.
Just because my legs.
Same.
I will go there.
I'm 6'2", almost 200 pounds, honey. I need room. I need space. I need space. It was coming out here.
Heels, y'all. 6'6" in heels.
Sometimes.
Crazy.
Yes.
Well, happy Pride, yo. But
happy Pride.
I'm not feeling very prideful because I don't believe Pride, like we talked about last week. Pride is not just a party day. It's all year long. So but the special week that's coming up, it's been raining, child. We've had thunderstorm, flooding watches.
Yes.
I'm like, hurricane season here way early
already. I know. That's crazy.
Dangerous.
Everybody was blowing up my phone via text saying, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine, honey. I got sun in Columbus, Ohio right now. We're cute. What's going on there? Oh yeah, it's sunny. It's like 70, almost 80 degrees today. Yeah.
Oh, child, it is.
Yeah. And I clearly brought the sun here.
And when it rains in Florida, it gets muggy and hotter. Why does it get hotter when it rains? I'm like,
yes. It's that steam, honey. They're trying to keep people moisturized. That's what they do.
Were you at Pride last year?
So I went to Pride for a hot moment, and then as I was walking down the street, because I live a few blocks from the
Right.
festival, and it started pouring.
Exactly. That was it. I'm done.
And right home. Mm-hmm.
I was in Bali last year, and I was watching Pride, and people were like doing Facebook. I was looking at it, and I'm like, they out in the rain. I'm
100%.
like, I'm grateful I'm in Bali because I am not going to be doing rain. And
I'll do it.
You know,
I'll do it. And I love it because there's plans. One of my besties for over 10, 15 years, he actually is flying into Fort Lauderdale today from San Francisco. So I get to see him this weekend. He called me today. I was at the gym. He called me this morning and was like, you're not in Fort Lauderdale, right? He goes, are we going to make it? What's happening with y'all in Fort Lauderdale? So, people are worried. It definitely has folks worried. And so we were trying to figure out when we're going to meet up on Saturday and all this. I said, listen, I live a block away. If it's pouring, come to my house.
Pride at Terry's house, y'all. Pride at Terry's house. Here's the thing too. And I said this before we went on air. I celebrate Pride all year long. So for me to have a miss on the day, I don't need to be in the sparkles and the frilly frills, and I don't need to be on a float. And
running around half naked. Because let's be real, that's one of the things that happens on every Pride. Doesn't matter what city you're in, it's an excuse for us to do what? Drink and run around naked.
Yeah. And I'm not doing much of the drinking these days, and I would go down there. I might have a cocktail or might not. And then probably I won't after, and getting down there, have one, and then everyone else is on 10. I'm like,
right.
That's sloppy. That's sloppy mess.
I agree. So you're not feeling the spirit of Pride specifically this month for Pride. The first event that I came here for was on Tuesday night, and we talked about this, right? We talked about this in terms of, just checking a box for the 30 days of June, right? Corporations, everyone jumps on the bandwagon, the float, if you will, no pun intended, where it's let's be prideful during this month. But what about the 11 other months that there are where it's like the LGBTQ folks are forgotten about, or we'll see them, next month. So it's a thing. It's a real thing in our society that I think we need to have more conversations about.
We definitely do. And I believe in like we've said, and not to give any things away in our interview that's coming up with our great guests, we talked about that there's so many LGBTQA plus Black, white, whatever, who need to have funding throughout the year. So if you're going to be an ally now, you need to be ally throughout the whole year, not just to throw a rainbow across your logo. That really bugs me. I'm going to say that when you take the logo and then you take the flag and put it over it, I'm going,
yes, that's Pride.
Well, July 1. What happens July 1? It goes back to them.
Exactly. Take it down now. Right. 100%.
We are not calling anybody out. We're calling you in.
So here's what's also interesting. I used this phrase on Tuesday night at the event as well, which I'll talk about a little later. But I said that to folks. I said, I've learned from my business partner and dear friend that it's a matter of no longer calling people out, because that creates a negative space and people they become defensive when you call people out. If you call people in, it's an opportunity to really sort of create a safe and brave space to have a conversation about, whatever the topic is, right? So I agree. We'll call these people into the table and be like, where your Pride at in July?
You're about to make me cry. You like listening to me.
I did. I talked about you on Tuesday. I did.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is our segment of Did You Know? And you know what? We are both sportsmen. And I didn't tell you about this, so I'll tell you this. I'm training for my first half marathon. I know, right? Right. So
Say
I
what now?
decided that I was going to do things at the age of 60 that I've never done before. And yes, believe it or not, I'm turning 60 in a couple of weeks. Terry's turning how old in a couple of weeks? What are you, the 19th?
Not a couple of weeks, child. We are turning 60
Oh,
and 44 in less than a week.
wow,
Less than
44.
a
Oh my
week. Yes.
God, that's amazing. You look really, really good, brother.
Thank
And I
you.
said I
You
was going to do
too.
things that I've never done before. And this week I started my training for my half marathon. And it's cute and all. And I really wanted to push myself because I love running, but I'm a sprinter. I grew up a sprinter. In high school, I was a sprinter. Junior high, I was a sprinter. And back in the day, it was the 50-yard dash. And now it's a 60-yard
Yes.
dash. And I used to boom, boom. That was my thing. And then I graduated to the 100. And then I tried the 200, and that was just too much. So I realized that I was not a endurance runner, although 200 is not endurance, it is power.
Like,
But I
oh,
realized I don't want to do, anything long periods of time. So I am doing it, and running's cute and all, but it's hard training for a marathon, a half marathon.
listen, what I'm hearing is that you're gonna need Coach T to come out and help you a little bit. That's what I'm hearing. You need a little
You
Coach T
know,
in your life.
the thing about it is that Florida is not runner friendly. I'm sorry, you got to get up way
No,
early in the morning or way
no.
late at night. So I've been doing my training on my Peloton. Shout out to Peloton.
Okay.
And even that is, and I see myself doing it. And now, I did the progression run this week, and now I have to do an
Yeah.
endurance run. I got to run for 45 minutes. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm gonna do it because it's gonna push me, and I'm gonna grow from it. I'm gonna grow from it.
That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all my advice is going to be, right? Like, put that positivity
Yeah,
spin on it and just be
yeah.
like, listen, this is an
Hello.
opportunity to expand my horizons
There you
and
go.
add something else to my arsenal, right? Like, that's what it
Love
is.
it.
60 and 60, sexy, fabulous. That's what
Hey,
you do.
thank you, brother. Thank
That's what
you.
you do.
So this is
That's
a
what you
great
do.
segue to our Did You Know? And my Did You Know, I'm going to give the facts because we are jumping into really soon. August 26th through, July 26th through August 11th is the Olympics. That's in Paris. And we've talked about it before. I am so excited. I am really, really excited. The games will kick off with the open ceremonies on the 20th. I love the opening ceremonies. Da, 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 da. And they come in, march
Mm-hmm.
in. You just can't wait for your country to come in. It's just amazing. This is the first year they're doing something really amazing. I'm more excited than skateboarding. Last year they did skateboarding.
Yes.
They're doing breakdancing.
I
Breaking.
know. I
They're doing
know.
breaking. And this is what the
Yes.
Olympic Committee says. They want to bring more of the origin, the culture to be more inclusive, which I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at bringing in
Yeah.
urban, and you go back to the 70s where it was called, oh, it's a fad, it's not going to last. It just
Yes.
celebrated 50, and now it's at the Olympics. Are you kidding me? I'm
I
like, oh.
know.
So it's debut at the Olympics, and it's also about, they have different categories. They have
Yes.
B-boys and B-girls. I mean, they're really doing it. Boom. My question
Uh-oh.
is, who's going to be the judges? Is it going to be Run DMC? Is it going to be LL Cool J? Who's going to be the judge? Because white people, I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, did I just say that? Oops. Oh, that was Terry Dyer, actually. Come on now. Come on.
Nope.
Okay, so check this
Terry ain't
out.
said
Who,
nothing. Ain't
brother,
said nothing. My name is
who's
Bennett, and I ain't in
I did
it.
it? But Terry, who are
I
they
think we're
going
having
to
some.
be the judge? Who are they going to judge?
No, I don't know, but for me, I am excited because, and of course, I am in Columbus, Ohio for a shout out to Compete Sports Diversity, who focuses on bringing a tremendous amount of diversity and inclusivity into sporting arms. So the NBA, the NFL, they're working with Hockey League, et cetera, et cetera. So a WNBA, kudos to Compete Sports Diversity. And for
Yep.
asking me, I'm very honored that they've asked me to come out here and keynote speak. To me, having this new art form in as a sport, this is what diversity and inclusivity looks like. right?
Yes.
You're bringing in, as you just talked about, an urban style form, and they've created sport. There's a tremendous amount of endurance that you have to have. You have to work out. You have to be able to last during the full competition, right? Hitting all the different categories. I love it. I love it. And I have been, you know, I watch World of Dance and So You Think You Can Dance and all that. So I know pop locking and b-boying and b-girls and all that. That's been coming around for the last 10 years. So it's amazing.
They're ready. They're ready for it.
In the sports.
Do you think the world's ready for it, though? You think the world's ready for it?
I do, because I knew that this could potentially happen years ago when not only did they have So You Think You Can Dance, they also had World of Dance that was judged by J-Lo and Derek Huff and all those folks, right? Yeah, so that to me took that form to a whole nother level, right? And there's a tremendous amount of urban folks that participate in this art form. So I think it's shining a light on that. It's giving people another outlet, right? Get off them streets. Well, technically they're still on the streets, but you know, it gives them in a positive way to remain on the streets, you know.
remember the floor from the kitchen? They put down I wonder if they're going to bring the floor. I don't think they're bringing it from the kitchen. But remember, ballroom dancing used to be an Olympic sport, correct? I think it still is.
Was it? It is. It is. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
It was absolutely. And so here's the other thing too: is we look at the history of dancing in the Olympics. You look at in the Winter Olympics, we have pair dancing. Pair skate dancing. So dancing is a big part of Olympics, and it's about time. It's about time. Here's my question before you go to your did you know? I got to ask you something. Getting on a horse and riding around and jumping over a fence, brother. I mean, they're not even sweating or the horse. Yes, the horse.
I'm gonna get you for this.
Okay, why? Talk to me, Terry. Talk to me.
Equestrian is absolutely a sport. It is. They have to have a tremendous amount of strength to control the horse, right? There's a lot of different dynamics that is athletic in nature that goes with that sport, right? Like you're holding yourself, you're holding the horse. That horse is strong.
The horse is strong, Terry's saying.
So to me, brother man, I love you, but no, we can't call Ian equestrian. That is absolutely a sport, and it has a rich.
Have you rode? Have you ever ridden before?
I rode a horse. Yeah. So my grandparents in the Bay Area, they used to own a ranch and had multiple horses there. So I've definitely ridden a horse.
Okay. All right. Well, I give it to you. I give it to you, Charles. Learn something every day on this podcast.
That's another reason why we're here.
That's right. That's right for sure.
Educate the people. So my did you know in this episode is, of course, being here. I am blown away by the Columbus LGBTQ community. The festival, parade, the pride, and everything is put on by Stonewall Columbus, and it is at the helm of my dear friend, who is the executive director. We've been friends for over 15 years from San Francisco. They get over 500,000 people at their parade, at their pride festivities. That is an insane number to me.
That's the biggest pride?
Insane number. So I feel like I've been to other prides, San Diego, LA, San Francisco. I've never been to New York, but I almost went a couple of years ago. I know those folks get a tremendous amount of folks. I don't think the numbers are at Columbus like this. I am beyond impressed at the level of work and people? How the city, what was that?
500,000 people?
Right.
That's huge. That's huge pride.
Huge. Absolutely. So kudos, that is my did you know, kudos to them and the amount of how the city just embraces pride. And there's flags like we were just talking about, right? Corporations have got their decorations up. And I went to a restaurant for lunch on Tuesday, and they inside the restaurant was all decor with the rainbow and everything. So kudos to folks for that. And congratulations to them for having a successful just in terms of numbers alone. That's huge.
Yes, huge. And as they say on Drag Race, congratulations. I'm obsessed with All Stars. I'm obsessed with All Stars. Have you been watching it?
I have. Absolutely.
So
absolutely. I don't miss RuPaul's for sure.
We have to have a conversation on one of the episodes for Pride coming up, because I like the queens on this one, and I start off going, but I love Miss Vanjie.
I know. I've been a big fan of hers for years. I think she is just unapologetically herself. So I love that. So I think it's time to call out one of our amazing partners with our podcast. So we would like to shout out one of our advertisers in Cooperstein Metz Enterprises, a brokerage firm that carries your trust. They are one of the world's fastest growing third-party logistics worldwide. Not just local, worldwide. Y'all hear that? Worldwide. They are based in Palm Springs, California, and transport all of your freight, which includes both refrigerated and dry goods. So we've got their information flying across the screen here. You can reach them at 209-213-7091, aabrokerageinc.com. Shout out to them. We're super excited to partner with them. So check them out if you need any of your freight carried across the country, honey.
Hello. You're better at that commercial stuff, y'all.
Well, she might have been in a couple commercials.
I know. I think she was. I think so. I love our interview that we just had with Dr. Edward Summers. And this is our grit and our glitter portion of the episode. Tell us a little bit about him, and we're going to get into his episode and listen to it, and then we'll come back after that. So tell us a little bit about him.
So Dr. Edward Summers is the executive director of Pridelines, which we have shout out before in previous episodes. They are the longest standing LGBTQ resource-based organization in South Florida, celebrating 42 years. That's a tremendous feat, right? And he is the new executive director since about October of 2023, and just really elevating the organization, getting them to a space of rejuvenation, getting them reconnected to the community. There's been, like a lot of organizations, they went through a couple of challenges and really have just taken the community by storm since he's come on into the organization. And I am so proud to stand with them and support their organization. Dr. Edward Summers is a transplant from New York. He is a licensed psychologist or a therapist. He has a PhD. He's just so amazing, powerful Black man doing amazing things that is uplifting not only the LGBTQ community, but the Black LGBTQ community as well. Absolutely. One of the biggest things that I love is they focus on LGBTQ, but I recently learned they don't turn anybody away for services, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if you're in the interview. Yeah, absolutely. And that's important to know. Really
That's why I loved our interview with him, because he was so real, down to earth, and inclusivity. Some people say they use the word diversity, inclusivity, and really don't. But in this interview, he really dug deep into it and what it is. So
absolutely.
We're going to listen to the interview, and we'll be back after that. So enjoy, everybody.
Enjoy.
Hey, Dr. Edward, thank you so much for joining us here at Grits and Glitter, the podcast.
Welcome.
It's an honor to have you.
Thanks. It's great to be here with you too. I'm excited to have this conversation. So thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
It's our first guest. Come on.
I know, right? We're very excited about it. And it's Pride Month. Hello.
Yes. Let's be prideful.
I love Pride.
I do too.
Exactly. And that's really what we wanted to talk to you about. I mean, your organization has the word pride in it. Yes. So we really want to sort of hear from you in terms of what makes Pridelines prideful. What is it that Pridelines is prideful for in its 42nd year of existence?
Hey.
Don't tell me I lost you guys. Oh, there you
go.
There we go. This is live, honey.
It is live.
Yes. So we, Pridelines has been around for 42 years. We have tried to serve our community with honor and grace. What we are very prideful of here at Pridelines is that we've always been in and of community. We pride ourselves as an organization that is on the ground. We're at the grassroots. We all, take great pleasure in being very interactive and engaged with our community. So no matter what your position are here at the organization, you could be in finance, you could be in any position in the organization, but you have to interact with the people that we serve. And what I love most about Pridelines is that Pridelines doesn't just only serve the majority population in the LGBTQ circle, right? It serves everyone in our community. So that's not just white gay males, right, who often are associated with community centers, our pride events, but we serve, people of color. We serve immigrants. We serve, the trans community. So we serve a lot of our community and everyone in our community, even allies, and not people who are allies who we turn into allies. And so we are prideful for our 42 years of service, the fact that we have endured such tremendous transition over the last couple of years here in Florida, just with the political climate, also just the overall climate of how organizations are funded. It's always tough to be an organization, but we have stood the test of time. We're 4 decades old, and not many organizations can say that they've stood that test of time, particularly in a state that has aggressive policies and are have had discriminatory policies against our community. So we're prideful that we're here. We're in community, we of community, and we get to continue to do our job on a daily basis. And that just brings us great joy and pleasure. Every person that we help, we celebrate them and we love it. And we celebrate with them. A question recently came to me about how do you celebrate your wins and your accolades? And, quite frankly, we celebrate with the people we serve. We take them out to dinners, to places that we haven't been to before, right? So that's how we celebrate who we are, of continuing just to be mindful of that we get an honor. This is an honor to do this type of work. We get to do this.
And what I love about what you just said, it's very important that we recognize it's not just about one group of people, it's about everyone. And yeah, our podcast is about uplifting the Black queer voices. But I love the fact that when we rise up in this podcast or whatever we do in nonprofit, everyone rise up together. Right. And I love that take. It's not just for this certain amount of the demographics. The one thing I love is that you recently sold your business, your building, and you moved into the heart of the community. What does that feel like to you?
I have to tell you, it's been a labor of love. So we are right in the heart of Liberty City, ground zero of health disparities, economic disparities, neighborhood change and development disparities, just so many disparities in this community, but it's so rich. It's so rich in culture and community and people. And so it's just a blessing to be here. One of our approaches when we first moved here was that we were going to be on the ground talking to the people in this community about who we are and the fact that we are a resource for them, whether they identify as a person that's LGBTQ plus or not, but that we are going to be an LGBTQ plus organization that not only serves the gay lesbian community, but the people here in Liberty City. So it's an honor to be here. And we've gotten such a tremendous welcome from the people here. We hosted a big community barbecue on April 6th, where we just opened it up and we were out there doing the electric slide and we had barbecue. Listen, I was out there. Hugging our people, but it feels really good to be here. I will tell you this: we've had stories from people who are from this community who are still afraid to come out because of cultural norms and cultural challenges or familial challenges. We've had 3 young lesbian young ladies who go to school right down the street who stumbled upon us one day, and we said, "Come in," and they said, "Well, we're 3 lesbians, we're queer women." And now they have not left our side. They come here every day that we're open. They come and they're in our youth space. They bring their friends here. They bring their girlfriends here. They speak to our therapists. They come here to relax and rest. They come here to get food. They come here to get clothing. so that they can get gender affirming clothing that fits who they want to be. So I love it. They actually go on our computers, and they've been applying for summer jobs. So it's great that they've found our space. I will tell you another story of someone, a man, who's roughly in his 60s, who lives in Liberty City, is from Liberty City, and he told me about a story of the 80s. When, of course, in the 80s, it was a very tough time, and he didn't know who he was. He was wrestling with his identity. He actually dated a trans female in the 80s, but didn't know it was a trans person. And when he found out during sexual intercourse, he reacted somewhat negatively to that experience. And he had to do some jail time. And then he said while in jail,
Uh-oh. Oh no, I was loving the story. Did we lose him?
I know.
This is live, y'all. This happened. This happened.
Back on. He's definitely going to come back on. But while he's
waiting, a little technical difficulty, y'all. This happened.
I've only heard about situations happening like that.
Yeah.
And about, someone finding out that someone's a trans person and having a negative reaction. And that, oh, there you are. You're back. We're just talking about the story.
You were just talking about your story. Yeah.
I should tell you guys that Comcast sent us an email this afternoon saying that they're fixing the wireless in Liberty City because, again, going back to the disparities that exist in this community, the Wi-Fi, just in general, no matter what company you go through, is just really terrible. The fiber optics, underground fiber is not all that great. The infrastructure is really lacking here. So I apologize about that. But
no apologies, because this is the evidence that how we need to work for equality, even in Wi-Fi, y'all.
Hello? Hello.
The digital divide, it still exists.
Baby.
Exactly. These disparities still exist, whether we realize it or not, particularly in communities like Liberty City, where they've experienced huge disinvestment or not investment at all. These exist in this community. So that's why we're here, and we're here to be advocates for this community. But to go back to that story, he was dating a transgender female in the 80s, didn't know the person was transgender, made a mistake and hurt the person, and had to serve some jail time. But then while in jail for about 10 years, he fell in love with a man, and he said that he never knew that a black man could fall in love with another black man. He fell genuinely in love with this person. He subsequently got out of jail and then moved in with this person, and they've been together for about 20 years or so. But he's still not in the closet to his family.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
To this, he said he never felt safe, telling anybody the story until he came into Pridelines. Until I was just chopping it up with him, being real, being my authentic self, showing up and saying, "Hey, what's up, brother? What's going on? Like, how you doing? What's happening with you? What's the deal?" And he told me his story. He just opened up, and he says, I never told another person this story, but I felt like I could tell you this. So it's pretty significant to be here in Liberty City, and it means a lot to us. I think we get more than the community gets from us. And we say that every day, that we take something away from this community, and we hope we are helping. We hope we're supporting in ways that that are important and valid to the people here.
I love that. One of the things that you said a few moments ago is you don't just serve the LGBTQ plus community. You really take anybody who needs some type of assistance. That's really important because a lot of organizations don't necessarily do that because they're so focused on one or the other. So talk a little bit about why that's so important to make sure that you're serving everybody and not just one demographic.
Yeah, so of course, our LGBTQ plus community is so important to us. I identify as a cis gay man, of color, and so definitely supporting our community is important. But we can't be physically located in a community and not support everyone.
Absolutely,
that's not right. That is not right. I'm sorry, It's just not right. So we're gonna live here with the resources that we have and not spread those resources to everyone who needs those resources. While we're a community center, we're a social services organization that have access to other resources out there. It would be a shame to us. It would be a shame if we did not share that with the much larger community who needed us. So if you're a person, whether you're gay, straight, or not, and you're housing insecure, and we have resources, we're going to connect you with those housing resources. If you're a person who needs clothing, we're going to help you get clothing because we have a closet here. If you need food, we're going to feed you. You know, if you need therapy, we're gonna give you therapy. We have a young lady now from South Miami who's a person of color who is she's not a lesbian, but she's going through a lot. She has kids. She has frustrations with her partner. She came to us and she says, listen, I don't have resources. I just need somebody to talk to. We hooked up with a therapist. Why not? Why not? Why not? Like, I mean, I think, part of it is that we will always do what we can to support and uplift people who need us. And I think that is our role, whether, it's a gay person, straight person, I don't care what it is, we will be there to support. And there's not a day that we will deny anyone who comes through our doors. We will just help because that is the role of our organization. Of course, we have our pocket of gays that we support and we will always support them, but there's room to serve other people. And I will tell you this, I raised these dollars to do this work, not from, I don't have a grant for this work. I don't have government funding. I raised these dollars with the team here to be able to support not just our community, but everybody in this much larger community where we're physically located at. That's Liberty City, that's Miami-Dade County. We even serve people up in Broward as well. So it is, I have to tell you, as a person of color, leading this organization, it is important for me to uplift all my people, my people. So not just gay folks, right? I want to uplift my Black person.
Everybody.
Uplift everybody. As we come along as
everybody.
Bring up everybody. And I always say, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I always say,
oh, get on your soapbox, brother. It's okay.
We do all the time. We do all the time.
I told a lot about to my white friends, right? To my white gay friends about the importance of supporting, particularly women of color, right? Who now are, have the highest infection of HIV rates, right? They're just outpacing every other group, right? And so why is it important to support women of color? Because guess what? Without women of color, they would, the Democratic Party would not be carried. Marriage equality would not be legal. Many of the rights and privileges that we enjoy as gay people would not happen without women of color. Women of color are the bedrock. They are the bedrock of the Democratic Party. They vote Democratic 90+% of the time. The Democratic Party is the one that looks at that LGBTQ plus community, right? And so, it is our duty. It is our duty to support those women. They uplift us. They've held us down for a long time. Without them, there would be no gay community. I am sorry. There would not be, right? We would be. The rest of the country would be very similar to where Florida is at and where our governor is at, right? If we did not have Black women changing the chambers of Congress, changing the chambers of state congresses and assemblies, right? So it is so critical that we recognize that we are not in a silo as gay folks and that we are among this bigger community, and particularly people of color have uplifted, and particularly women of color, Black women have uplifted our community for a long time. So
it is one community, one group is global community, and you mentioned politics, so we're going to go there. How are you affecting legislation? Because I believe that is where we're going to really, we're making a difference, and I believe, we have to come back to the tribe, we have to take care of our crew, our people, our group. But where we can make a big difference is changing law. And how do you see you're affecting law right now?
Yeah, so we work a lot with Equality Florida. We work a lot with SAVE and Safe Schools. They tend to be more of the advocacy arm. So as background, I'm a therapist, but I'm a political science actually before a therapist, right? So my degrees are in public policy and political science, and I worked in politics.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that. She got degrees.
Smart brother.
That's right.
Smart brother.
I worked in politics and I taught politics before, my stint in Florida where I kind of switched industries and came into the counseling world. But so we leave a lot of that advocacy up to them. However, we are really, firm in talking with our partners about what we're hearing on the ground, what we're experiencing, using our data and using our experiences to fuel policy change and policy advocacy that these organizations are doing. We also, because of my background in politics, we tend to have elected officials and our government appointed officials come visit us. So just yesterday, we had the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the U.S. Secretary, not the state of Florida Secretary, the U.S. Secretary.
Bam. Hello. You better work.
I'm back. I'm back. See,
that's what we call doing the work, people. Doing the work. Some people call it the Lord's work. Some people call it, community work. And no, that's doing the work right there. Getting the people who need to be in the room, getting those people into the room. That's
and
how
we also call it working it.
hey,
you
I can verify Dr. Edward Summers works it too now. He works it too now.
I know.
I try my best.
I've heard about your shirt you wear sometimes to gala events. I'll follow you on Instagram, brother.
I am my authentic self. That's one thing about me. You're gonna find that I live my truth, baby. I don't care. Listen, I've worked hard to get to where I'm at. I've studied. I've climbed the ladder. Like, I'm just gonna be me. This is who you get, because you get me, but you get my heart, and that's the bigger part, is that you get my heart and you get my commitment that no matter what, I will always do what I can to help others, right? Because I think it's so important. And I've been given a gift, and I know God's given me a gift. He's given me a gift of empathy, of connection, but of being able to immediately figure out a problem and identify that problem, but find solutions. And so, so you get all of me. You get the sexy, sassy side of me, but then you get the smart. Work for you too, baby.
Y'all heard it here first. The sexy, sassy Dr. Edward Summers.
And make sure you call him doctor. Put the DR. And he earned that, baby.
Own that's respect. That's respect.
Because I made people call me Rev. You better call me Reverend. I don't care.
Reverend. It took me coming to Florida to get in touch with my being comfortable with my sexual identity and my body and stuff like that. In New York, to be honest with you, it was very tough. I wasn't as revealing as I tend to be down here in Florida. But it took me coming down here and really spending time with myself and really doing a lot of healing, previous challenges and traumas and stuff like that, to really get comfortable with who I am. And to get comfortable with whatever my body looks like, no matter what it is. I was called Chunky as a kid. That was my nickname. So yeah, Chunky.
See, this all makes so much sense, and I hope that those out there listening or watching in YouTube land really sees the connection, right, with respects to the Grits and Glitter podcast, and why it's so incredibly important for us to provide this safe space, right? Dr. Edward Summers has talked a lot about authenticity. He's talked a lot about healing trauma. Those are things that we don't typically do as a people, as gay people, as LGBTQ folks, as Black folks. We don't typically focus on our wellness. We might focus on the health part and see a doctor and that sort of thing for the physical part, but we don't typically do a tremendous amount of work on healing ourselves. And that's how we have to move forward. That's how we have to be, like you just said, be comfortable in your own skin, right? So I think that's so incredibly important. And thank you for drawing attention to that, because that really speaks to another way that it speaks to who Grits and Glitter stands for and what our platform is in healing and mental health and awareness and all that stuff.
And Terry, too, I want to say, and Dr. Edward, there are still Black folks that won't go see a doctor. And I know that you provide health care for people in our communities that would not go to see a doctor. We still carry around that I don't know, that energy of I ain't trusting no doctor. My father died from diabetes, complications of diabetes, and he just would never go to a doctor to take care of himself. How are you breaking down the stigma of seeing a doctor in your organization? How are you helping?
Yeah. So what I love about the place that I work, like I'm so honored to work at, is that we look like the people too, right? We look like the
representation.
It makes a huge difference. We look like the people we serve, and we truly do have this this community-centered, individualized approach to individuals. And so I do fundamentally believe that a lot of what we have to do in our community is work on that healing and work on allowing people to be comfortable with who they are and dealing with some of the traumas of the past in order to get them to get to that next step of seeing, for instance, a healthcare provider. So I mentioned earlier about mental health counseling and the fact that we have free mental health counseling here in the organization. And I tend to do, as a therapist as well, as a trained therapist, I tend to counsel people all the time. They don't even realize they're getting counseled. And so in my conversations with people, I'm like, oh, let me spend a moment with this person real quick. And I sometimes just sit down, and I might be busy, but I'm going to take that 20 minutes, 30 minutes down. You don't even know you're in a session, and I got you to do things that you really need to do for yourself. So I think it's like sort of underhand approach that we have too, that allows us to break down stigmas and to allow people to feel more comfortable with who their providers are, right? I'm not your traditional person that you would think of as a political scientist and as a therapist, right? You know, and former paralegal, all these things, right? But like, I'm able to immediately break down some of these stereotypes for people and help them get connected to the resources. And so I think that that's been our approach, is really looking like the community, but helping to break down stereotypes of what it means to be a doctor and to talk about issues and concerns. And I love our providers. Our providers, they're not just about like, all right, let's just talk about your issue and leave, right? They want to know you. They like, listen, one of the providers, I mean, I'm a boss, right? She like was getting into me about something I told her, right? Me, I'm the boss. And she's like, no, Edward, I'm like, no, you should not be doing that. I think you should be thinking about X, Y, and Z. And literally went down this litany of stuff. She wasn't afraid to like be real with me, but to have that authentic conversation as well. And not just treat me as, all right, here's all the questions answered. There's your prescription, right? No, it wasn't that. It was a genuine conversation about her really getting to know me, because outside of the work relationship, she didn't really know me about my like health and all that, but she got into it. And so I think that approach too, the fact that we have people who are so human centric and so wanting to get to know the person and engage with the person, that changes the dynamic. You're not just a piece of paper or a dollar or a number, but you're actually a person that I see. I see you.
Right. I love it. One of the things that, first of all, like I love everything that Pridelines does and what it stands for. And I know that we've talked a lot. You've kind of explained a little bit about the services, the overarching services that you guys do. Can you give the listeners out there, or those watching in YouTube land, tell them really 30,000 foot overview of what the services are that are provided from Pridelines?
Sure. We are a community-based organization that provides a gamut of programs and activities and services for all members of our communities. So if you're a young person, we provide youth safe space. We provide youth programming and mental health counseling, and really just a safe space to come, get clothing from our clothing closet, or to get food. If you're a housing insecure individual, whether youth or not, you can come to our drop-in center to Project Safe at both of our locations, Miami Beach and Liberty City, to get wraparound services. So you are linked with a case manager, you're linked with a therapist, and then you're linked with these individuals who will help you navigate your challenging situation. We tend to place people either in local shelters with partners, or if we can't do that, we try to help subsidize out of our own pocket temporary shelter. So that's an Airbnb or a hotel until we are able to get people into a shelter. So that's our program for housing insecure. We have programs for seniors where we do coffee and conversations and really connecting seniors to resources that they need. And then the big part of our organization is our health services. So you can come to us and get HIV, STI testing, get treated, and or again, you can get treated for STIs and HIV, and then you can see any of our providers as well. So really thinking holistically, we are a community center for all, but we have great youth programming. We have programming for people who are housing insecure. We have programming for seniors, and then we have our health services. So that's a major part of our work.
Fantastic.
So how are you, and this is the fun stuff, and this is the glitter of this conversation. So what is your favorite part about Pride? What do you like? Do you like the parade? Do you like the dances? Do you like, what do you like about Pride? What boys, I was trying to, you can say I'm being the reverend here today.
Pride, I'll own my glitter.
I like to be naked. Listen, I like to be half naked, period. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, representing Pridelines, walking in Pride with my shirt off, and the attention, of course, that we get. But no, I love it. Honestly, you know what I love about it is that our community gets to come together. We get to celebrate our history. And not that many people think about it. A lot of people, some people think about it, but like we get to really celebrate our history and how far we've come. We have come a long way as a group, as a movement. And I reflect on Pride, and I reflect on the Stonewall riots. I reflect on who were some of the leaders of the Stonewall riot and what they looked like, and their demographics and composition, right? So like the fact that like we get to celebrate how far we've come, but it's also a reminder for me, and what I rejoice at is that it's a reminder that we still have a lot of work to get done. And so that motivates me, because I'm a workaholic, right? I like to have fun, I like to party and all that stuff, but like I like to get to work. So it's a reminder of the work that still needs to be done as well. And that's a motivating factor for me. I get motivated and I'm like, I want to do more. Like, I'll tell you this, right? So like I have a friend who has a swimwear company up in New York, and I just saw something that he did for California. I was like, Pridelines needs that right away, right? Like I always want to do more, right? Like, I want to do more all the time. So I love, again, the historical context of Pride and coming together as a community, but it is a motivating factor to want to do more to support the community.
Send us a link to that, please.
Yeah. So more importantly, I like to be naked, half naked. It's great. Just let it all hang out, like my chest. But like, it's fun.
I love it. I love it. So, in addition to Pride and Pridelines being out at Stonewall Wilton Manors Pride, you guys have a lot of events coming up. Tell a few.
Yes,
tell us what we expect for the rest of the year for you guys.
Yeah. So busy year. We have actually something that's really important coming up this coming Wednesday. Or I don't know when it's going to air, but like June 12th. This is coming up, where we are unveiling a new mural that honors the Pulse, the victims of Pulse nightclub, the shooting at Pulse nightclub. Wow. And so we're doing that June 12th, which is
how many years is that now?
So it has to
like
be 12
I think it's 7 years now, right?
What is it? Oh my God, this is so bad. I should know this. I should do the math, but
I think it's 5-6 years now.
I forget the anniversary, but the important thing though about this is that the memorial is not happening. 2016. Yeah. Thank you. I can't do math. Sorry. 8 years.
Okay. That's okay. 8 years.
8 years. So the memorial is not happening in Orlando. The Pulse Foundation shut down. So this is, and we used to under the leadership of Victor, who was our previous ED, and Veronica, we used to have our board chair. We used to have a post memorial at our old center in Little Haiti before the building sold. So this is so important for us to bring back this mural. It's going to be on the side of our building. It's going to be pretty big. We're looking forward to a cocktail reception and really an opportunity to memorialize and remember the lives that we lost during Pulse. And for the families who live here locally, and the friends who live here locally, and many people, have friends who died, who live here in Miami, for them to be able to memorialize their friends and to have their names on our building is pretty significant. So that's coming up to 12. I should back up. This whole June 8th, 9th, we have barbecues and cocktail receptions and collaboration with Nathan's. So that's pretty cool. We're going to be doing some testing. We're going to be trying to get people on PrEP. Because we do have PrEP and PEP, and if you have insurance, great, you can get PrEP from us. If you don't have insurance, you can get PrEP from us too. So we're going to be doing that. We have a youth Pride in the end of June at our Miami Beach location. That's going to happen. And then big thing is our gala August 17th. We have a disco and queer inferno. There's going to be an announcement out about the honorees this week. We have some great, fantastic national honorees, local honorees. And then this year we have the Joyride, and coming in November, we do that in collaboration with an organization called Fab Adventures, where there's 5 organizations, Pridelines, Broward House, Compass, Impact, and Miracle of Love, organizations that are in, Miami, Broward, Palm Beaches, or Orlando, and Tampa area. We all get together to do this annual HIV/AIDS bike ride, 165 miles from Miami to the Keys, and we raised money for HIV/AIDS services. And this year, we've actually expanded that notion, and so the funds can not only be dedicated to HIV/AIDS services, but to all of our missions. So to our much broader mission of supporting the LGBTQ plus community. So it can go towards housing, it can go towards mental health.
And it can go through, he said, mental health. What else?
Mental health. Yes, it does. Yes.
And it goes to housing.
So I will also say that the Joy Ride is a new iteration of the Smart Ride. Used
Smart Ride, right?
Here for 20 years, and the Smart Ride finished. It had its last ride just this past year. So the Joy Ride is some organization.
The Joy Ride.
Yeah,
Joy is smart, and I get it. I get it why they switched it, but let's get some joy. And you know, one of the things I know people who've asked me, "Are you going to ride?" I'm going, "Nope." Now I could crew. I will crew. My shorts.
You can be at the pit stop. You can be at one of the stops.
I'll be like, "Go ride, baby, ride, y'all."
You know what's important about this ride too is this is the only type of ride of its kind in Florida. There's lots of different rides, of course, but in terms of for our community, this is the only type of ride of its kind. And you know, California has such a big ride, and Terry, you're from California. Boston, and New York has rides, and so this has really been important. And as Terry said, I kind of heard it when we clicked off, was that this is a new iteration of the Smart Ride, which was around for 20 years. And has had a significant impact on so many different organizations here in South Florida. So this is such an important ride for our community. And what we love is that we've reimagined it to be the Joy Ride. And it covers a lot more of the challenges that our community face, whether housing, whether mental health, whether gender affirming care, whatever the beneficiaries do, these funds can be used towards those purposes. And so this is so significant, for our organizations, especially like an organization like Pridelines, where we're trying to dabble into housing. We can talk about that in another show, to support housing insecure individuals. Lots of
Dr. Professor, you forgot a very other important event happening.
Oh, June 27th.
That's benefiting your
Somebody's having a concert.
Yes, the concert.
Having a concert.
So yes, the concert is so important. It's a huge, in partnership with Terry. I think, and Hunters, right? This is so significant for us and so important. And, Terry has been working with us to help lead Prideline's effort and to just really educating people in Broward and Wilton about Pridelines. And that's been pretty significant. And we're grateful for that. The thing is, we've had like a crazy year. Crazy year of Pridelines. Literally, we have 22 events in June.
22. Y'all heard it here. 22 events in 30 days. In 30 days.
This goes back to the notion of trying to cover everyone in our community, right? And it's so important for us to not forget, people. And it's hard, and we will, but like we truly are trying to make sure that we reach out to so many different constituencies and make sure that they feel loved during this month and feel heard and feel seen. And so that's why we have so many events. But it's, what I love about this, to be honest with you, is the team. Normally, when you have this many events, the team's like, oh my God, like they're dreading coming in work. No, it's stuff that's pushing me to do some of these. And it's like, no, Edward, but this community is important. This means a lot to them, and this means a lot to us. And so to have a team that buys into the vision and understands where we're trying to go and who we're supporting and why it's significant is pretty amazing. But it has been a busy year. It's going to be a busy month, but we're really excited. But that June 27th event is going to be dope.
I love it. It's going to be amazing. Dr. Edward Summers, thank you so much for making a difference on this planet. Prideline, hey, listen, some people can talk the talk, but you are actually walking the walk, and we appreciate you and someone who really believes in that we have the power to make a difference on this planet. It just requires us to say yes. Brother, you are saying yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. We appreciate you, y'all. This is Dr. Edward Summers, Executive Director of Pridelines, based in Miami-Dade County. Thank you so much, brother.
And we'll put all the information inside our program notes where you know how to contact and get some help if you need it. So peace and blessings. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an amazing interview.
It was. Give it up again
so
for
much.
Dr. Edward Summers, y'all. Give it up for him. Snap, snap.
But it makes you want to get involved. I know you work with them, and I know that you're active, but it makes you want to get involved to help our young youth, to make sure that they're going to have the greatest opportunities to have the most productive life. And you know what? I love his realness about Pride, and he is not fearful of taking off his shirt. And
he's not.
The muscles were like boom, 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 boom. You got it going on.
What representation, that's what representation looks like, right?
Yeah.
The community at large wants to ensure that they see themselves in folks that are leading and providing these services. And so often that doesn't happen. So what I love most is the fact that he is real, authentic. He makes himself vulnerable with the community because that's what we need. So I love it. Absolutely love it.
And folks, remember, you can head over to pridelines.org to be part of their community, or you can reach out for volunteer service and give some money. Because I mean, that's how nonprofits get, it takes us to support them, nonprofits. So they are one of our partners. We support them, and we're so grateful that we got a chance to interview Dr. Edward. He's amazing. He's amazing.
He is. Our first interview.
Yay! It was great. Come on, we need an applause machine here. So we gotta get the applause machine. So, but this is one of my favorite parts of the show, and we get to make a shout out of who's making a difference. Who's making a difference in your community and your eyesight? Who's making a difference?
Yeah, I'm going to, again, go back to what we were talking about, or what I was sort of bringing awareness to early in this episode, is Stonewall Columbus. So often I travel and have the opportunity to meet local organizations in whatever the city that is. And sometimes I'm blown away, sometimes I'm disappointed. But Stonewall Columbus has just absolutely touched my spirit and touched my heart this week being here. And I've met some of their staff, amazing people who are giving themselves to the community. Just like many of the organizations, nonprofits around, they provide services, support groups. They're putting on Pride this week. They gave me a cute little t-shirt with their Pride emblem.
Can you get another one?
I can get you one. I'll get you one.
Give me one.
I'll get you one. But I want to, call them in and shout out and make sure that, folks know about all the amazing work that is happening in their cities across the country, because it's crucial to continuing to take care of each other. It takes a village. Survival with what's happening politically, we need organizations like Stonewall Columbus to continue thriving in order to make sure that the next generations are taken care of. So kudos to them for all the amazing work, and my dear friend Denzel leading at the helm. I'm just uber impressed and thankful that they brought me here to have some conversations with me this week.
Did you say Denzel? You know Denzel?
His name is Denzel. He might say he looked like Denzel. He might say he looked like Denzel.
I'm like, you hanging out with Denzel? Dang. I need to be hanging out with you. You hanging out with Denzel.
Yes. I mean, Denzel, you ever listen, girl? Call me.
That's what, hey, call me.
Who's making a difference?
So I've always been fixated with this person since I saw the original Kinky Boots on Broadway with Billy Porter. And I've seen the progression of what he's done on, from Kinky Boots, and then how he made a real splash on Pose as Spray Tell. Yeah. And then how he came up, he's the first, openly gay man to win an Emmy Award. And it was truly amazing how he brought his style to the red carpets, which gave a lot of other people permission to wear what they want to wear your heels, wear your dress, wear your tuxedo on the top, your dress at the very bottom. It's all good. And I believe, what he does as an advocate is so much more probably important than what he does, you know, in front of the camera, but he's speaking out. And I read his memoir, and his upbringing and the things that he's gone through. He's been open about his HIV status. And I believe that takes a lot of courage to do. And so I believe in my eyes, he's making a difference. And I'm going to continue to support him and you know, wishing him well as he's gone through his time of divorce. He just came through a divorce. It can't be hard. It can't be easy going through any type of a breakup. But I am
publicly.
You know, and publicly. Yeah. So because you know. So I believe what he's doing right now is making a difference for having more eyes on our Black queer brothers and sisters. And I can't wait to see what he does in front of the camera coming up very soon. And his music, come on, his music is dope. Yeah. You got to let these children know he can sing. He can sing. Have you ever done a duet with him?
No, but I did recently have a moment. Well, so he's been spending a lot of time in South Florida. So I have hung out with him a little bit in a couple of the spaces on Wilton Drive in South Florida. We had a little hugging moment. He's one of the reasons why I went into music in college and studied music and got a degree in music. So I was dressed to the nines, my style, very androgyny like him. And so we had a moment at an event last October, and he sees me walking toward him, and he's like, "Oh no, she didn't come in here dressed better than me at my event."
Of course.
There's photos where we're hugging each other, and we just had a moment, and he started tearing and I was tearing, and because I whispered in his ear, "You're the reason why I went to school to study music, and I wanted people to see more, you know, young queer Black gays in opera, musical theater, that sort of thing, especially where I lived, which was you know, not all that diverse." So we had a moment together last fall.
So I because I don't really go out to Wilton Manors all that much. How was he dressed? That's how was he dressed out in Wilton Manors? Was he?
So that night, because I've been around him a few times in Wilton. That night, that specific event, he was very casually dressed, and it was very comfortable. You know, just some oversized pants and top and that sort of thing. Yeah. Some flats, some sandals. She was very.
He wasn't wearing a big hat into drink. He wasn't wearing a big hat to drink. No. Yeah. My mind went like, I'm seeing him and drink with the big ass hat on.
Holding court.
Holding court. That goes around here. And can you imagine a drink have a curtain that opens up around us? Yes, it is I.
Absolutely.
This has been a wonderful episode. A little bit different.
It has been.
But we're new. You know, you are in Columbus and I'm in Florida, and normally we're boom, and we're splitting it up a little bit. So, and part of this, it's real deal stuff. You're coming from the hotel, and I'm here, and it's raining and stuff. So we know it's all good in the hood. All good in the hood.
Love it. Another incredible episode. I'm so proud of what we're creating and what we're doing, and hopefully the listeners are continuing to engage and enjoy our kikiing and laughter and all that good stuff.
Make sure y'all, please, we want you to like, we want you to share, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and please, I want you to tell people about this, because this is how podcasts grow. It's word of mouth that gets it out that we're here. And a friend of mine said, y'all two are the best kept secret in gay radio. So I'm like, oh, that was very sweet in the gay podcast. So we're going to expand that. We're going to make sure that we're not well kept secret, that we're going to move forward and get the word out there, you know. So, hey, I love you, brother, and get back to Florida soon. Love you. Everyone,
I'll see y'all very soon.
Everybody, please be kind to people. Why, Terry?
Because it's free.
Show is. Love you. Peace and blessings, everybody.
All right. Bye. See y'all soon.
Remember to like, share, and leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcast.